All right. So last things last, we have one of my highly anticipated films of last year, 1917.
Yep.
This is directed, well, written actually, well, co-written, I should say, produced and directed by Sam Mendes, right?
Yeah.
Who won the Golden Globe, who won a Golden Globe, I should say, last week as it's recorded. So just before I jump into what 1970 is about, right? So of course, well, in case you didn't know, this film is set to look like one long continuous take, right?
Yeah. They do.
And
They do. Thing, yeah.
yeah, they pretty much did the Birdman thing, right? But
Yeah. I
if
think
if
Europe
if
thing.
you yeah, if you're familiar with Sam Mendes' work, right? You could see that he was gearing up to do this thing, right? First show I noticed that was with Skyfall. You know, we had a couple
Right.
of long take moments. One it involving a very intense well fist fight basically on top of this in this floor of this very high building and whatnot. And then well we had Spectre, the opening shot for that. That was really, really well done.
You
Um
direct Spectre.
yes he did. Yes he did.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
All right.
Spectre that opening a long take opening sequence. Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
good.
which is really good, right? And I mean the technique itself, like okay, like if you're really into movies and you could pick like, oh
Yeah,
well,
look.
you know what
Yeah.
once you pass that corner, once you hit that wall or whatnot, or once you turn here, okay, cool. That's where the shot stops and okay,
Right.
that's where it continues, quote unquote, right? So I mean it's easy for you know the movie viewer to be demystified by that long take thing now. But my thing what I was worried about slightly, I should say, going into this is that it was going to be a gimmick. Like, oh well,
Right.
come and see the
You long take.
one long continuous take
Yeah.
phenomenon that's shocking the
Yeah.
world. You know what I mean?
All right.
And would it be like to the purpose of telling the story, telling like really effective to the story, or is it just like, ooh, look at what I could do? You know what I mean? So I was
Right.
a little bit worried with that going into this, right? But I trust Sam Mendes, right? Let's say he's one of my favorite directors, but he has made some of my favorite movies. Skyfall is one, Road to
Yes.
Perdition, one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies like ever, in my opinion. And yes, just like with that and Skyfall and Spectre, yeah, Spectre had problems with. Yeah, well, you all should know that. It reunites him with the composer extraordinaire Thomas Newman, right? Yeah, and of course, cinematographer extraordinaire. I'll talk about him later on, Mr. Roger Deakins, aka the God of cinematography right now. But yeah, so what is the story about, right? So it's set well in April 1917, right, during the First World War, right? We
Yeah. It's
introduced
based
to
on
yeah,
the
so we
exploit.
introduced. Sorry.
Yeah, it's exploit. Well, the exploits of Alfred Mendes at Trinidadian.
Yes. Who, by the way, he um he didn't just dedicate the movie to, which, well, slight spoiler at the very end of the movie, right? So he credited his great grandfather for that. And also
Yeah.
he mentions him in his acceptance speech. And I remember, like right after that on Facebook, people were like Trini's. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, you mentioned Trinidad. Ah! You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
it's like, but I kind of knew he had Trini roots ever since Skyfall, though. But I didn't
Yeah,
know
me
that
too.
his father served in the war. This was news to me, and this was news to me. It's like,
I,
oh,
I,
okay,
okay, so I was familiar with this because I know about it from what do you call it? Because he connected to CLR James. So
right,
that's the reason I know. He's like, oh yeah, he's an author. He's like, it's the same dude. Okay, no problem.
right. Yeah. So no, I didn't lose my shit when I heard it, but at the same time, I was like, okay, I like that he acknowledged that, and I was well. What I was actually kind of hoping that people here in Trinidad, you know what I mean, would go and see the movie. So kind of tell all you to go and see the movie, right? But anyway, so back to what the story is about. So we introduced to two young soldiers, well, British soldiers, and basically just given this message to, it's just basically to hand over a letter, right? But it's to the second battalion of this regiment, right? But
Yeah,
they are on the other side, right? So it's basically where the characters are at first, and then you have no man's land, and they are on the other side. So basically, they have to deliver this message, and it's about basically it's involving this attack that they're gonna do the following day, right? But because they have new intel, they find out that, oh well, okay, the attack that all you plan now actually gonna lead all into a trap. It's like, oh
Right.
well, you're thinking, okay, the Germans are there just kind of waiting to get killed. But it's like, no, they have a plan in store. So if all they go and attack, all they gotta get wipe out, and it may result in the death of 1,600 men. So this
Yeah.
information is imperative. You need to get this out as soon as. So yeah, so we just follow these two guys as they get from point A through no man's land into point B, and that in a nutshell is what 1917 is about. So
Yep.
before I gush over this movie, because yes, I will. Although I have just a little nitpicky stuff to talk about. What were your thoughts on this movie?
Yeah, absolutely loved it. It's kind of
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah, it
It
kind of
it
is. It
did
kind of.
it started really strong. It's lulled a little bit, but then it had some really really sad moments, unfortunate moments, and then that last 15 minutes is so good,
Oh,
like so damn
MG.
good. Right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is when
yeah.
he sell. It's what they call is what I call it the typical. It was what I call a hockey stick movie, no? As in it just build, 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 and then that last ending just crescendo into amazingness, no? And yeah,
Yes.
I really really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. All right. So I totally agree with you, but I was blown away by this movie. I mean from opening shot from when you just see the opening titles, right? And by the way, simple yet very effective use of titles. That's all I would say. I thought it
Right,
works. But yeah, but going in, I was watching the technique, right? And yes, oftentimes I was kind of thinking about the technique a lot, but it didn't take. Fortunately, it didn't take me away from me experiencing the show because yes, at the end of the day, it's an experience. You are with these guys, right? You are part of this mission, and that's what the movie does so excellently. It puts you alongside them. At first, at times I was telling myself, this is like literally watching like I don't know, playing some kind of first person shooter, you know what I mean, or RPG, you know what I mean. Like you're there, you're moving
right.
along with them, you're looking to your left, you're looking to the horizon, you're looking out for enemies and all that kind of stuff. People could find you from anywhere, and it's just basically you following these characters from
Yeah, yeah,
stage to stage, right? So it had that kind of video game vibe to it, but that
yeah.
gimmicky kind of way. Um, just minor gripes though, but well, this is one that I see some people make out, but I could kind of defend the show. Well, I have my defense on this, right? I have my statement for that. Some people might find that just like this one a World War II film from my boy Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk. Some people might complain that this movie is short on characters or character development. Now. They
Right,
just there, you know what I mean? They're soldiers, they do stuff, but you don't know who they are. You don't really care about them because they're just characters, right? But I would argue that because we're following these two characters, right? There are few moments, not a lot, but a few moments where they talk to each other, but it's not so much about characterization. It's just more about look, like at the end of the day, we are looking at 1917 trend. It's not like they had, smartphones to pull out when they have free time, right? They will talk to each other. They'll crack, steal jokes. They'll mention, the family and all that kind of stuff. It's what they do to alleviate that tension, how to alleviate
right,
that pain. So that's what they do. But at the end of the day, it's not like, oh, we have to know about your life for me to care about you. That's not what they're going for. But here's my statement to that. Though, you know what I mean? How I see it is that when you look at it, like just from a wide lens, right, from a broad perspective, they are just soldiers. They are just like
yeah,
nameless
exactly.
soldiers in a war that we never experienced, right? But what the show does so perfectly, in my opinion, is that it just zeroes in on just some of these characters. It gives them a face. You know what I mean? Even like it. Well, the film does this so brilliantly when they actually go over to the regiment that they supposed to reach in the first place. I'm just seeing soldier after soldier, extra after extra. You know what I mean? Like technically,
Yeah,
yeah, they're a bunch of extras, but what you see, they're just soldiers in a war that yeah, they don't want to be a part of, but they have to do it, you know what I mean? And even when the decision is made, I don't want to spoil it from here. It's just like, well, yeah, decision was made, but that don't mean the war done, you know. I mean, we still had to go out there and fight. And
right,
if we live or die, well, who's gonna remember us? And that to me is where the movie really hit me, where it's like, yeah, this is what this show is going for. Just
right.
showing you that, yeah, you know what I mean? These soldiers died was part of a war, but these were people. These were human beings that had families and stuff like that. That's what the show is about, in my opinion. That's what I thought would. So yeah, you didn't get much character with them, and you know what I mean. Oh, you
Right.
wish you had a little backstory, but to me, that's not the point of the show. It's war, right?
Nah, yeah, yeah,
That's what it is. And another one other thing people might nitpick too, well, just touching on that once again, is the main characters, the big character, well, the big actors, I would say. That would be like Mark Strong, Colin Firth, and the Cumberbatch, right? You'd be
right,
like,
right,
but
right.
that was barely in the show, so why
Nah,
were they there? Once again,
yeah,
they are just soldiers in a war. It could have been anybody, but they just
yeah,
zero in on these characters for this point of time. And then, well, also that just goes back to the whole, one long continuous take. Because what we see in here, well, doesn't take 2 hours, even though the movie is 2 hours, right? But yeah, you just kind of seeing time pass by. Well, they do that effectively. But basically, what we're
right.
seeing is just minute by minute of what going on there. So you don't have to stop to be like, oh, well, this is character A, and this is what he does. No, it's just no, it's a race against time now. So that's what I thought
Yeah,
the long take thing works. Sir. Speaking of the long take, boy, points to the camera work, points to the
yeah,
cinematography, and points to the editing in this. Oh
yeah.
my
I
god,
mean, it's a kind
editing.
of horror show almost at times, right? It's like they really make it work, and they really was afraid at times for this man. It's like wow, especially on the nighttime sequence. Like damn.
Yeah, I'll talk about the nighttime scenes in a bit, but yeah,
Yeah,
the editor Lee Smith. If this man does not get an Oscar nom for this, and we talking about this before the nomination list come out, if this man don't get
yeah,
an Oscar nomination, boy, nah, something wrong, boy. That is some pitch perfect editing, in my opinion, boy.
yeah,
Just to make us believe that yes, we are watching this long continuous shot, and yes,
yeah,
you do see a couple of moments like where they probably will go down into like some, I was gonna say basement, or like down some hole or some
yeah, yeah. You
area, and
know,
you
yeah.
could tell, okay,
These are
shadowy,
these
okay,
are
cool, but yeah, but because of the camera movement now, so props to the camera work here, it still feels like one continuous shot, and it works. There's even like there were even moments where I was like wondering, okay, cause I heard, can like I don't know, I haven't watched any behind the scenes stuff of how they make this. I kind of don't want to at the same time. 'Cause I'm afraid it'll just demystify, what it is I saw.
no,
I'm afraid I wouldn't like it so much because, like, yeah, I wish I didn't do that. No, I know it to be like, but still, how? So maybe there were a CG stuff like a VFX, still or some
well,
frame that was put
yeah,
to aid in the transition. Maybe I don't know, but I don't know. Like what they do here, just visually was just masterful in my opinion.
yeah,
Um, Roger Deakins, yo, this man killed it once again with this show, way. Like
yeah,
he's been killing it so much over his career, Jed.
yeah.
I thought that Blade Runner 2049 where he won the Oscar for. It's like yeah,
Right.
well, you know what I mean. I don't think
Well,
he
for
could
me,
top that
Sicario.
now, but yeah, and Sicario of course, and well,
Yeah,
Skyfall. I love the cinematography that he did for Skyfall, but here,
yeah,
boy, he just outdid himself once again. Like he put us in this world, you know what I mean? It's dirty, it's muddy, it's you know what I mean, lot of
yeah.
a lot
Dead
of
horses.
dead horses and corpses all over the place. So he just puts us in this world. It's frightening, it's terrifying, but at the same time, there's little moments of beauty. You know what I mean? Like the fields and you know what I mean, like flowers and stuff like that. But there's one shot, but I should say two shots, right? Well, one shot being what you saw in the trailer, where you saw one of our heroes running, seeing like the cannon shells going off, right? And he's
Yeah,
avoiding them. I won't lie, when I saw that scene on big screen, and when I heard the music that Thomas Newman did, I'll get to him in a bit. Your boy almost stay up.
yeah,
'Cause I was like, this is why I come to see movies right in theaters. This is this
yeah.
is this is excellent, and I love this.
I do regret not seeing this in IMAX.
Same here. I wish I did too, boy, but I wouldn't mind going back and seeing it there to be honest. But yeah, that
Yeah.
shot too, wow, that was
No,
amazing.
there's a shot that impressed me because the way how they improved is when he meets the battalion and they walking in the line and then they go up and you see the whole trench in the sand
Yes, and
the
yes,
first time. Okay, you don't get a sense of how big it is now, how open that space would be, and then they see it for the first time. Like, okay, that shot impressive.
yeah. That was impressive too. But the moment that really make my jaw drop, Trent, and it's like just the camera work, the framing, the cinematography, of course, and the music was this night shot, Trent, where you are seeing a fire on the horizon, and you just
Yeah.
see like flare, like the light from the flare in the air just shining down on these columns. I'm a jaw drop. I was
Yeah.
like, dog, look at this. This is amazing. Like just from a shot perspective, that's awesome. John. I love this. So yeah, boy, you know what I mean? From lighting to camera work to cinematography. And yes, now let me just jump into music here. Thomas Newman didn't know he was doing the score for this. I should have known going in, but yeah, he came, did his thing. There were moments where yeah, it was tense and terrifying, but also kind of hopeful and sort of poignant. And yeah, his score totally worked in my opinion. It really fit the film well. And I'm glad that it wasn't like the whole Shepherd Stone thing with Dunkirk.
Right.
Like it had a little Shepherd Stone moments, but it wasn't too tense. So I dug that there were some variations there. Um, and what else? Well, yeah, let me just talk about the leads quickly, just the acting itself. Yeah, the acting for the most part I thought was really strong though. The two leads themselves, one of which he's the more kind of boyish looking character. Well, it's only after the fact I realized that he was Cersei's son in Game of Thrones, right? The
Right.
one who killed himself at the end of season 6. Like, oh yeah, he's that dude. Okay, you get old, but okay, wow, okay. But yeah, I thought that the acting was great here. The character moments they gave him was great. Another moment that kind of almost bring the bad tears out though was well, another part of the mission we forgot to mention involved that guy, well, the that fella basically meeting up with his brother.
Yeah, the
And
ending. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how they
What you did, and
reach that point,
when he
boy.
went very straight after.
Yeah, when it
Yeah.
that moment though, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Once
That's
again,
a
going
great.
back to yeah,
That,
you know
that's
what I
when
mean?
it built for me.
Yeah. Once again, going back to yes, we see them as just soldiers, faceless, nameless characters in a war. But yeah, the actual people, they actually have families, and just the way how they tie that up, though, just how they show it
Yeah.
with that guy's brother was
Yeah,
excellent.
that's great.
Almost bring the man tears out of me. And yeah, you know what I mean? Because and just to round things up, um, it worked from a technical perspective. It works from an emotional perspective. It works. 'Cause it's not just poignant and oftentimes sad or distressing or harrowing, but you have these genuine moments of tension though. I love though in terms of the characters themselves where it's not like, oh, there's some Rambo type character who could just gun a man down or shoot a man down in one
No,
shot,
no. What's the
easy.
thing, eh?
No, they make mistakes. They fire
Yeah.
shots and they miss and they
Yeah,
run.
no.
Yeah,
What you don't understand is that is World War I, eh? Not World War II, eh?
right.
World War I was like a true nightmare because it was such a shock to the system for most people now. Like
Yeah.
nobody had no idea that the war would get that bad now. Like they thought it was like, oh, we just go and defeat the enemy and come home in a couple of weeks. Like, no, it
No.
was like a total nightmare, Jared. And it was because of the level and the scale, and then nobody had any sense of like, look, you got a small cut. Like, remember when he cut himself on wire? And then
Yes.
he's
It's
like,
barbed
wow,
wire, yeah.
you don't because of that infection there. And then
Yeah,
he put
yeah,
his hand on
yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah,
all the
it's only,
little things
right. And only afterwards it's like, yo, you should check on that wound, you don't know. You know what I mean?
was
You could be infected. Yeah.
like that. Um
Yeah, that could
and
come at you
to make
from anywhere. And I mean, at any time. And the show,
yeah.
brilliantly shows that.
And then the scene with him like what they did with the pilot part. That pilot part was so dark and
Oh,
just so happened
yes,
so
boy.
fast. Man.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
blink and you miss it. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my god, that just happened. You know what I mean?
And then
But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it really
and
just
eyes
shows how it happened. So how that could come at you so quickly now.
so quickly, yeah, yeah. And the fear
Yeah,
in his eyes after he find out what went on, he's like, yeah, that's how it is. Oh, seriously, fuck that rat, eh?
boy. Yeah, there's some rats in this show. Where, yeah, you'll be hating on rats in this show. Boy. You'll be hating on them rats. Boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a near perfect movie for me. I won't say it's like an absolute 5 out of 5 for me. Maybe with more
Right.
viewings, I'll give it that. Mainly because it's not like Saving Private Ryan, for example, where you really got into like the heads of the characters themselves. You really understood where they're coming from.
Right.
As more like this character-driven film. But here it's just about men on mission. This is the timer. This is the clock. You know what I mean, ticking. You have to get from
Right.
here to there. Just following these guys. It's just one thing, one distressing event after the next until they actually reach that point. The best way to kind of sum up the show, like high concept, is like if you took Revenant, especially like the long take moments, and just the
Yeah.
visceral brutality of that show, mix that with Dunkirk, with, you know what I
Right.
mean, like, oh, you know what I mean, the enemy could come from here or there. And of course, you see with Bright Red, especially with the climax of the
Right.
show. And that's 1917 in a nutshell here. But yeah,
Right.
this is a great movie. Just like you, I wish I saw it in IMAX. I have a feeling I actually would have enjoyed it way more there. But still, I
Right.
saw it on a big screen. The volume was up enough for me to hear everything, and even at moments which legit make me jump. So props to the sound design for this one. But yeah,
Yeah.
not much more I could see. This gets a decent, strong 4 out of 5. This would easily be a top 3 for me in 2019. But
Right.
yeah, this is one of the best movies, well, I guess, of 2019. One of the best war movies I've seen in quite some time. And
Yeah.
last thing I want to say, this actually have a huge chance of winning Best Picture, though.
Yep.
Although, you know what I mean, there's a huge chance that, say, an Irishman could win, or even a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood could win. I'd be happy if that win. But if 1917 win, yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad about that at all. I think that
I
just from
personally
from
feel I personally feel
just
this
from
might
technicality alone, yeah, it kind of deserves it.
I personally feel this might sweep the Oscars. Personally, I feeling it going sweep. Yeah, this
Especially
was
the
nothing short of
technical
amazing.
awards. It should the technical awards here, and of course,
Yeah.
if like I say, well, editing. If that man no get nominated, Lee Smith, if you get nominated, yeah, forget the Academy. If Roger
Yeah.
Deakins doesn't win, like I don't know who the other guy is going up for cinematography. Maybe that guy who worked on Joker. I don't know, maybe, but oh
Right.
gosh, Roger, come and just do he thing, Jed. So yeah, he had to get a nom at least. He had to get a nom. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I feel this movie going sweep. This movie is nothing short of amazing, in my opinion. It's just so well done. Everything it just paced itself. It built really well. As I say, the editing was not, editing is not just cut something, but it's tonal and building and thematic editing and building towards something. And yeah,
Yeah.
it built towards that ending. Just such a great emotional payoff at the end there. I get us a high IMAX. Really
Yes.
enjoyed this one. Didn't expect it to enjoy it as much as I really regret not seeing it in IMAX. I would, if I get a chance, I might go and see it because I actually have something to do in town tomorrow. So I might go and do that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
go brave, man, go brave. But I
this is
really do need to see this in IMAX. I have a feeling that if, well, tomorrow intense recording, if it actually gets nominated for a ton of awards, yeah, they're gonna market this thing, like
yeah,
crazy, like yeah, come and see these shows that's nominated for best picture, best this, best that. You know what I mean? May not be for best actor, supporting actor, of course, but still, just off the
right.
technical stuff alone,
And
yeah,
well,
people
all
gonna swarm to see this.
all the local filmmongers gone hype it up because Alfred Mendes, right?
Of course.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I remember somebody begging Sam Mendes to make a movie in Trinidad. I was like, who's this?
Yeah,
Whatever.
that would be Mr. Neil Navallo, who I
I
have
don't.
met actually once. Actually, she's a filmmaker. Yeah, she made a couple of shorts. She's actually doing her thing, like as far as like taking her shorts to different festivals. So shout out to her. But yeah, she had that e-begging thing, and she was on local TV with it too. One of those
Yeah.
morning talk
Good stuff.
shows. I was like, okay, all right, well. I hope you well just hoping that she actually got around to seeing it. Yeah, it's a great show, but yeah, yeah, not just. I mean, I don't know how. Well, I mean, like the crowd I was with, they loved every moment of it. But I really hope that more people, not just here, but this period, do go and see this. Because yeah, this is like a near perfect movie in my opinion.